Welcome to the Market Me Marketing Coronavirus Response for Small Business Owners webinar. I am honoured to share the next 30 to 40 minutes with you guys to give you just a little bit of context and a bit of direction as to how to actually, continue to function in the face of something that is quite disruptive for business. So what I want to cover is a couple of things. I'm going to give you a bit of a pep talk because I see a lot of people really stressing about the situation, and for good reason. But even though there are things we can't control, there are a number of things we can control. So I've just got some food for thought for you guys. I want to talk a bit about some opportunities that are staring us in the face right now in business. We need to talk about communication, the tone and the content. That's really, really important. And I want to just give you some really basic industry-specific ideas and responses that you can consider either for your business or when you're speaking to other people in business who might need a bit of guidance. You might have some ideas that you can pass on to them as well. Before I get into it, though, I do want to just throw a bit of a disclaimer in there. And I want to say that by running this webinar, I'm in no way underestimating or presenting in denial of the difficulties that we are seeing as a nation in business and personally. It is just devastating to see so many businesses having to close down. It is a harsh season in our life, and Scott Morrison was right in saying that 2020 is actually going to be one of the hardest years we're ever going to have to live. We're hoping, right? But I want to actually run this webinar because I want to balance out, the negativity with some positivity. And we can always do that. It doesn't matter what situation we find ourselves in. We actually need to also balance up the fear and the panic and the frustration with, some wisdom, some direction, strategy, some intention, and balance it up with some truth, right? It's one thing to just be struck down with the negativity of what's going on, but in any situation, there is always a level of truth. There is always something else that we can focus on as well. And I want to get you forward looking tonight, so that you are ready for what we are going to effectively call the bounce back. And the bounce back is when some of these limitations start to be lifted and we start to get our businesses and our economies and our families, etc., all back into some form of normality. What that even looks like, I don't know anymore, but we can create part of that as well, right? So let's have a little talk for a minute before we get too much further into the business side of things. I was in a situation just before Christmas. My region, the Adelaide Hills, had some fires going on, and I'm on the board at my school that my kids go to, and I ended up in a meeting with the principal and some other staff, and I ended up running the response for one of our fire responses for our region. And it was a combination of school and a couple of churches that were involved. And, I kind of came home and I actually didn't know how to manage that or how to deal with that, because we effectively were faced with the same situation we are right now. Effectively, there was a lot of noise, there was a lot of negativity, there was a lot of pain, there was a lot of disaster. People were losing homes and family members and businesses, and just, the whole Adelaide Hills region was kind of put on notice and put into a bit of a fear pattern for a couple of weeks there. And I came and sat on my deck, as I like to do these days, and I just thought, how am I going to do this? How am I going to lead this response? Because I am, one, out of my depth, two, I just need to simplify this somehow, because I cannot be all things to all people at this point. It is 2 days before Christmas, and I just needed to know how to move forward. And as I sat on my deck, I kind of had this responsive, not reactive strategy hit me. And the whole thing with responsive and reactive is that they effectively both mean the same thing. They effectively both require some kind of action or some kind of result. But the difference between being responsive and reactive is actually the how you go about it. We have to learn to stop, to be responsive. It's one thing to be responsive to a situation. It's another thing to be reactive. And when we're reactive, we're actually functioning out of a very different place. And the outcome can also be very, very different depending on whether you react or whether you respond. So let's have a quick look at what this actually boils down to. So if we put it into this current coronavirus response for small business owners, Being reactive to me is all about letting the media direct your choices and your emotions. It's about making immediate decisions that could actually negatively impact your business. Everything you say and do right now in business can be held against you. Don't forget that. Everything that you say, even in the midst of a situation like this, don't just think people will get it, because they're expecting us to walk through in leadership. They're expecting us to still be professional online. We need to be very, very careful how we approach certain topics and how we communicate, which is why I'm going to talk about that shortly. But being reactive is about making those immediate decisions. It's about people ranting on Facebook and on social media. It's about letting external people and factors influence our behaviors and our choices. It's about making emotionally driven decisions. And a lot of emotionally driven decisions, unless you slept on it a few nights, and I'm not saying every emotionally driven decision is a bad one, but if you're making a decision right now because you're being reactive, then that is not the greatest response. Being reactive is stress. It actually harms our immune system, and now more than ever, especially in this current scenario, we really need to make sure we look after ourselves, right? Stress is a response. Stress is, I remember my mother-in-law saying that stress is just a response. Like, you don't have to stress. You can pray, you can journal, you can talk to someone, you can decide what you're going to focus on, and you can make the best out of what appears to be a very, very difficult situation. So what does being responsive look like? It means we stop. We stop. We don't just rant and post stuff on social media on our business pages and profiles. We stop. Maybe you need a couple of days right now to stop and go, right, this looks really bad. I might have to shut my business down for a couple of days, but I'm just going to take a break. I'm just going to go sit on the deck under the tree, do what you need to do, have a couple of days of self-care, just stop. And just allow the peace of the moment to allow you to make better decisions and create a better response for you. Take a step back. I mean, for some of us, for some of you, business will probably shut down for 2 to 3 to 4 months. But we've kind of got to marry that up with some truth, right? We live in one of the most amazing countries of the world where our government actually had money to be able to hand out and support people in this time. So we actually have one of the best healthcare systems in the world. We have to choose to be grateful in this period and actually get the facts and kind of marry up the negativity with the truth. Being responsive allows you to making an educated decision, right? You're getting the facts. You're not just getting your facts off social media, by the way. If I can encourage you to not read third-party articles and media, go straight to the person who's speaking. Go and follow Scott Morrison on Facebook and listen to what he says. If it comes out of his mouth, I'm pretty sure you can trust that he actually said it, right? If someone else from a third-party news app or whatever are actually quoting him, then there is that potential for it to be misquoted. And there can also be a lot of questions and a lot of things that aren't necessarily facts in there as well. So get the facts from the right areas, from the right people, and make educated decisions. One of the things I've learned over the years to do is sleep on things for a night. I don't always win with this. Sometimes I do get a bit emotional about things, but there have been times where I've gone, you know what, I'm not going to respond to that email tonight. I'm going to do it when I'm fresh. Sleep on it for the night. Don't buy into the hope that the fear that the media is trying to put out there, right? We are all in this together. Be realistic and be real. Be realistic, be real, but make educated decisions. We can take charge of our response. That's what being responsive is all about. It's about an intentional response to a situation that would have generated stress that is actually, is going to be tough. It's going to be hard. I'm not underestimating that at all. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what situation we find ourselves in. We always have the ability to take charge of our response, even if that means I'm going undercover for 3 days. I'm not going to talk to anyone, or I'm going to go pray, or I'm going to go do whatever, right? I'm going to go read. I'm going to go just fill my mind with something else for a couple of days, and then I'm going to make some decisions. We need to function out of our futures, not get stuck. And I think for many business owners, it's so easy right now to look at what's going on and just give up, hands in the air. The next 3 months of no business are going to kill us. guys, it's not going to kill you, right? There are smart ways to go about things. And if you continue to communicate with your followers in the right way, and we'll cover that shortly, you will have a future. And by the way, this is a great opportunity for us to actually figure out what our response is going to be to major scenarios. Things will continue to happen. You know, I think all of these major situations of fires and all of that kind of thing are part of our future. That's where our world's going. So we have lots of opportunity right now to position ourselves very, very differently. Being responsive does not mean we don't act, right? It actually does mean we have to do something. We have to act, we have to respond, but at the end of the day, it's how we go about it. And rest. You know, get your rest, guys. If you're not working, if you've had to shut your business down, take a little break, use it as a forced rest, and things will begin to look different as time goes on. Right now, it's really important that business owners do not stand down. Stand tall, right? Even if you cannot continue in your current format or you cannot still offer what you've been offering, stand tall, right? You can still share a hell of a lot with your followers to build vision, to build trust, to build credibility, to get email addresses, you know, to kind of get their curiosity happening and you know, just to be online and be present with them. And really, this is what small business has been preparing for. And when you think about it, larger suppliers cannot easily cope with quick change, but small business owners have that ability to do so. Larger suppliers are not able to keep up with demand, but smaller suppliers can, like the small fruit and veg, you know, shops who are now doing deliveries and things like that. These guys can shift their business models overnight. And you know what? If you think I'm just not that quick, Nick, or I'm not that smart, you don't know how smart you are until you're put on the spot, right? You don't know how you can step up in business until you're faced with a situation where you absolutely have to think differently. And that's what I'm kind of loving. If there's a few things I'm loving about this season, and there's not a lot, I'm not going to lie, it's going to be hard for a lot of people, a lot of my clients, but we're being forced to change the way we think about things. And you know what, for us to move into the future, we're going to have to go through that anyway. So why don't we make the most of the next couple of months and work on that? Consistency has never been more important in business. Don't be moved, right? You may need to shut your business down, but keep building, even if it means at reduced capacity, even if it means that you go away and you start to work on your business for a little while, so that when we get ready for that bounce back, when things start to come back online fully, you'll be ready to go. The sun will shine again, right? Things do not last forever. This too will pass, as one of my amazingly wise friends continues to tell me. We have to get intentional about our response. Like, you know, at some point, go work on your business. You know, fill your mind with the right things. Get intentional about how you're going to respond to this personally, because your business will flow out of you, of where you're at as a person. It'll flow out of, if you're, you know, feeling really down and out, your business will flow out of that. We have to look after ourselves in this season, but let this season work for you. So what we don't have control over is the fact that there's a pandemic, that there is a possible small season of sickness for some people. Some people will lose family members. Maybe you'll get sick. You know, there will be periods of that should be physical distancing and isolation, because we've got great potential to not be socially isolated or distanced right now. And I would encourage you to continue to engage with family and friends and other business owners. We don't have control over the fact that this is a challenging time. People will lose jobs. Families, you know, like you can't see your grandparents right now. You can't see family members right now. You can't have the normal barbecue out the back, or have the guys over for beers or the girls over for cheese platters. Like, things are a little bit challenging right now. We don't have control over the facts, you know, over the media, over the external chaos. But what we do have control over is this. And this is where we need to focus our time and our intention and our effort. We do have control over our own health and well-being as much as is in your hands. We do have control over the way we relate to other people in this season. You know, maybe it's time to champion other business owners. Maybe it's time for your small town to pull together and support each other a little bit more, right? We do have control over the way we move our families and our businesses through this. We have control over our self-education of the facts. We have our we have control over our distancing of external media noise. Choose what you focus on and let the rest go. And we have control over our internal grounding, right? Whatever it is that grounds you, spend time immersing yourself in it. You need to be grounded in this season. And the use of time right now, whether it looks good for you, whether it doesn't, and for me it looks busy, but even though it looks busy, the use of my time in this busy season is something that I still have control over. It does not mean that I have to be online 24/7 because I can't physically do that. I don't want to run myself into the ground over the next few months while everybody else is trying to ramp up, right? So we just have to be very, very wise about how we use our time. It's really important that you choose how you're going to position yourself right now. You need to choose before you walk in any further into this situation what your response is going to be. Choosing right now what your response is going to be and how you're going to position yourself actually allows you to pull yourself back together when things get tough. And we will all have our hard days. We will all have days where we will go, wow, that was harsh, or I'm just feeling like it's the end of the world right now. Don't worry, we all have those days. That's pretty normal. That's not going to stop. But when we choose intentionally how we're going to position ourselves and walk into a situation and walk out the other side, we have something that we can ground ourselves with. We have something we can pull ourselves back to. Write it on a piece of paper, get it on your wall, and make sure that where possible, you continue to just realign yourself. Choose now. It's like looking at any situation in life. You have to decide how you're going to position yourself and what you're going to do. So let's talk about some of the opportunities that you as business owners have right now. And, disruption is probably one word that could describe the coronavirus pandemic. Disruption, though, in general, throughout the years and history, when you look back, disruption has always equaled opportunity. Every disruption in history has ushered in a new level of innovation. And you guys have that opportunity at your door right now. Disruption is a blessing in disguise. Disruption actually forces us to review what's working and what's not working in business, right? Disruption forces us to change our thinking or our business and increase our digital presence, to work on it, to change it up, to be aligned with the times. Disruption forces us to find smarter ways to do things, right? I love that. I love that there are always smarter ways to do things. And this is an opportunity where we will have the chance to think, wow, I can't actually do it the way I used to do it. So how can I do it differently? It's actually an opportunity for you guys to shine in business. Consumers may never shop the same way again, ever. So can your business actually facilitate that? Can you actually change your model so that it aligns with what consumers need and want from you and how they want to interact with you in 2020 and beyond? That's a question that most business owners do not take the time to consider. Now is the perfect opportunity for you to do that. And disruption forces us to take things further online and automate where possible. And I think when we're so busy in business, we don't take the time to automate things. We don't take the time to work on our online website. The amount of brands that have gone and put their businesses quickly on Shopify or something in the last couple of weeks has blown me away. I thought, wow, if you can do it that quick when there's a pandemic on your door, just imagine how well you could have done it if you had already been there. You would have been ready to go. So you need to ask yourself in business, how can this form of disruption actually equal opportunity for me? Find ways, do a brainstorm, get some paper out in front of you and do a brainstorm, do a mind map, whatever you need to do. Get your teams on board, right? If your teams are going to continue to walk with you through this and come out the other side, put them to work on the business if they've got nothing else to do, right? Have brainstorming events, pull things together, get them busy on your online presence. But just remember that disruption always, always equals opportunity. This is a screenshot of just a couple of the things that I've been seeing on social media lately that I've loved. This is Mount Barker Fresh Markets from the Adelaide Hills. they went, and I think they probably already had their online store up and running. I don't know. I only just saw this as I was pulling this together, this webinar together. But you can actually go and order your fruit, veg, and dry goods. They had like rice and pasta sauce and all of those kinds of things. So they'll actually pull your order together and either deliver it, or you can go pick it up, and your fresh fruit is done. So when Coles were running out of everything, I thought that's actually a great idea, because I can just order a box of fresh fruit and veggies every week straight to my door, and I'm supporting another local business. So that's just one of the ways. And you know what? I'm actually loving that so much. I may never buy fruit and veggies again from the normal shops, right? Then I came across a couple of other brands doing amazing things, one being Prancing Pony Brewery, which is literally just up the road. They have got, at the time, they actually had a pizza and a beer deal that they could deliver to your door. Now, they did a 2-for-1 pizza deal. Just to sort of, just to get people's attention and go, hey guys, we're doing something different. Here's a deal. We can deliver it to your door. They put all the details in there, including where they deliver. Keep any details of any new model or anything that you're offering really clear, so that you don't get all the questions, right? Ask yourself, what questions am I going to get when I put this deal out there, and put that information into your post or on your website. But they actually that's a pretty good deal. 2 pizzas and a 6-pack of Prancing Pony Brewery beers for $45, delivered to your door for $5, I think it was. That's a pretty amazing deal, right? Then we had Lot 100, who actually packaged up a couple of different boxes that you could choose from. And I love this. I think brands could pull together and actually create some boxes. And if you've got 4 brands that have different things, but can all come together and collaborate, and you have 4 different packages, 4 different brands promoting it and pushing it out, 4 different small businesses are going to win in this season. And so are consumers, because we're going to get sick and tired of living out of our freezers, I think, in the coming weeks. And so if I know I can get a DIY pizza box for the kids, or a breakfast box to just like change things up every second week even, then I'm happy. That's a great deal. So they're just 2 of the ways that you can do it. And I did really, really like that. I thought that was great. Collaboration is actually really key right now, and it's no longer a cool thing to do. It's actually a must do. If you're going to survive in business from here onwards, I'm going to be brave enough to say that you have to collaborate. My business tripled money-wise, bottom line-wise, a couple of years back when I collaborated with a PR person. And I need to go there again. It's just that we're constantly busy and we don't really need the work. But that's where I would go when I'm ready for my next lot of collaboration. Collaboration is a must do. It's a cool thing to do. You don't have to do business on your own anymore. In fact, your business can probably thrive collaborating with somebody else, right? Now's your time to think about that. You've got some time to work on your business. Who can you collaborate with? Once again, get some paper out, do a mind map, do a brainstorm of some different packages or boxes or people that you would like to collaborate with, and get those phone calls done. Because at the end of the day, people are going to want to, other brands are also wanting to think differently in this season. And so now's the time, right? We're all in that same headspace. Find some other businesses that offer complementary products. You can work together to offer boxes, packages, deliveries. Maybe you could get one delivery guy for 4 brands, and you all use the same person. There's definitely smarter ways to go about it. Support each other, share each other's content. Competitions are a great way now. I mean, we can't really, leave our homes and go out and do stuff, but there's no reason why for tourism operators, you can't run a competition now that people can actually take next year. Because let's face it, after being stuck at home for however long we're going to be stuck at home for, we're going to need to get out and about, right? We're going to need a holiday. We're going to need to get the kids out. Adults are going to need to get out of the house for their own sanity. So don't be thinking about your competitions necessarily for this year, although if you're a florist, you could give away a bunch of flowers, they get delivered anywhere, right? Competitions are a great way to keep people engaged, work with, collaboration partners, pull off a $5,000 competition and pull together 5 other brands. So there's 6 brands who might put $500 worth of product together. or 10, whatever, and you can make it as big or as small as you want. Everybody wins. If you've got 5 brands contributing to a competition, there's no reason why those 5 brands shouldn't be supporting that and sharing that and getting people signed up for that, and everybody wins in this season. And competitions can be a little bit of hard work, so now's your time. If you've got time up your sleeve, run a competition. If it's a tourism or if it's an experience, just put that in the terms and conditions that it will be valid for 2021. Make it very, very clear. Honestly, we're in April almost. Christmas is not far off. This year is going to fly, and especially because things are a little different. So get those competitions happening, and don't be scared to market for next year, right? We all get it. We're not going to be put off because you're not marketing for next month right now. This was another page I came across in South Australia as well. Pick a Local, Pick SA. These guys are actually showcasing local South Australian quality, fresh produce, farmers, gourmet brands, anyone offering food, etc. And so they are a great page to follow, because if you want to collaborate for your region, or you want to pull together a page for your region where people can actually be showcased, your brands can be showcased, and people can be told what's going on and who's offering what, that's a great way to go about it as well. So Pick a Local SA, that's a fantastic page. I'd encourage you to go and like it. Follow it and just see how they are collaborating and how they do that. A couple of other initiatives I've seen online. One is the Advertiser, and I saw this one a couple of weeks back, so I'm hoping that they are still doing it. I'm guessing they are, but they said, SA, now's the time to stick together to help support local business. We've launched a quick form so you can tell us who is open for business or who has adapted to the current crisis. And what they wanted to do was they actually wanted to showcase area by area or region by region, basically who's open and what's going on, suburb by suburb. Rolling updates, suburb by suburb, of who is still open and who's offering what. So it's not very often that the Advertiser will actually give you some free advertising. So go and look that one up, and be open to other things like that will come up in your newsfeed as well, because they will from time to time. I saw another campaign, which was hashtag OKSA, and that was another really, it's a great hashtag to use, and you can sign up to get a little bit of information on that one as well. So just keep your eyes open for and peeled on social media for different opportunities that are coming out of this that you can actually collaborate with or take part in. It's a great time to do a business review. That is another huge opportunity staring you in the face right now. Review your business. You don't have to wait till December or till things get bad, right? Because things are bad now, right? But review your business. What do you need to adjust? What needs to work? What needs to change? What needs to be shifted so that you can weather this storm and future storms, but in the meantime, set your business up for future success. So you need to ask yourself, what's not working? What is working? What are the services I don't jump out of bed for? What are the services I do jump out of bed for? Am I jumping out of bed for anything? If not, what can I do in my business to mix it up, to change it up? Or is now a good time for me to move into something else that does actually light me up? How's my digital presence? Is it up to scratch? Does it need work? Now's a good time to sit there and double check your website to make sure your links work and spelling's correct and contact forms are working and all of the information's correct. Does it need an upgrade? Get in touch with someone who can help you with an upgrade, and use this time so that when we hit that bounce back phase, you are ready to go. Is your website set up for online ordering, delivery, etc.? How are you adjusting for the current storm, and how are you positioning yourself for future storms? Because there will be future storms, right? It might be that you get sick in the future, or there might be a fire, or you just, I think we're pretty aware these days that anything can happen at any point. Use this situation to set you up to weather different storms. What are your insurances like? All of those things as well. Do you have a plan? If you get killed in a car accident, who has all of your logins? Do you have all your logins in one place? Are you using LastPass or something else? Now's a great time to just go through and make sure all of that stuff is actually done and in place. We want to be able to roll when we get back to the new norm, right? Let this season define your business and define your response. Get intentional about your 2021 onwards. What do you want your business to look like next year? What mental blocks can you take this extra time out to work on? Where are your goals at? Do you even have goals? When was the last time you wrote a goal or considered what you wanted? Is it time to revisit those things? What are 3 things I can change in my world so that my business works better? What are you grateful for? Get intentional about your gratitude. And when was the last time you planned 12 months ahead? We used to write big, long business plans that used to sit on people's bookshelves, and they would be like 20, 30-page business plans. I never enjoyed writing them because I'm like, I would never, ever roll out a 20-page business plan. I don't think I've ever done it in my own business, ever. So pull it back down, tighten it up, and just have a 2-page plan of what your business is going to look like for next year and the steps that you need to get there. There's no point saying, I want to do $1 million, I want 1 million customers, and I want to do this, this, and this. If you haven't positioned your business and your mind, your own personal mindset and life to achieve those things, it's not going to happen. So yeah, you might have $1 million goal, but what are the steps that need to happen before you can get there? And as you start to change habits and you start to change systems and you start to change how you position yourself, you may not even achieve it next year, you might achieve it the year after. But if you don't know where you're going, you don't know how to get there, basically. So we need to get intentional about what we do in that space as well. We have an amazing opportunity right now to be productive. What I'm loving is not having to go out. What people don't realize is that when you have a meeting somewhere, sometimes you lose half a day. By the time you drive to the city, you park your car, you go to the meeting, finish the meeting, go get your car, pick up the groceries, get back. Like, it's time to have an afternoon kip, right? It's half the day's gone. So I'm loving not having to go out to meetings. And I'm loving the fact that we're realizing we can actually do that online. We don't have to actually, physically meet. So for me, that's actually giving me a little bit more time back. But what are you going to do if your business shuts down? Are you going to sit on the couch and watch ABC and be depressed for the rest of this time? Or are you going to get productive? Business does look different. Embrace it. Don't sit in front of your computer and just stare at it, watching ABC iView or whatever. Don't sit on your couch and watch ABC all day. Get the facts. Just spend half an hour a day getting the facts, and the rest of the time, get productive. Decide that you're going to survive. Even if you have to shut down, there will be a chance for you to pick back up again and jump into that bounce back season. Stay informed, but get off social media. Like, we know now is a great time to actually decide to not be on social media as much. I think we can all work on that. I've certainly learned and trialed in recent times logging on and logging off. I don't leave Facebook or Instagram open on my phone. I will log off. Sometimes I'll have a scroll. I'll interact with a few people. I'll like comments or whatever, and then I'll get off. Because when we constantly have that media going on in the background, or we're constantly being distracted, we're not using our time as productively as we could be. Use your isolation time to get productive and move your brand forward in this season. Now's not the time to back down. It's a time for us to step up, right? Support each other. Social media is designed for this. Go and like and follow. Anytime you see a small business doing something positive, like it, share it, comment, interact with it, champion them. All it takes is a like, a share, a comment, even just an emoji, right? You don't have to write a big, long message, but just support each other online. What are the things that you've been meaning to do lately that you now have the capacity to do? What are the things you've been meaning to do for the last few years that you probably now have capacity to do? And once again, get some rest. That's huge. So what are some of the things that you can do specifically in this next short season? You can sort your tax. There's always a huge sense of relief once tax is up to date, right? I think small business owners are probably the worst at keeping their tax up to date from the people that I've spoken to over the years. But now's your time. I know it's March, or April-ish, you're only 9 months into this current financial season. But hey, we can go through and we can get everything up to date and make sure we're good to go. We'll have three or four more months to actually process and put online or whatever and get our tax in on time this year. Work on your business, not in your business. Bulk create your content. Work on your photos. People don't have time for photos and to record videos and stuff like that when business is busy. It's the biggest complaint that I hear from people. I don't have time to create my own content. I don't have time to take photos or record videos. Now you've got the time, yeah? Organize your reviews. Do you need to email out past clients, past visitors, and get those reviews happening? Do you need to actually automate the reviews, the way that you do capture reviews, the way that you encourage people to leave reviews? That's the kind of stuff you can be dealing with now. Work on your business listings. Get your business listed for tourism on ATDW. If you're any other business, there are lots and lots of business directories out there that you can actually register your business on, so that you are effectively putting your links out right across the net, which is good for your SEO. Upskill yourself, take a course, take 5 courses, right? I love Udemy. It's Udemy, Udemy. I can pretty much learn everything and anything on there. I can do a course in anything in about an hour and a half or 3 hours. Sometimes there's courses that go a lot longer on there. But just upskill yourself. Upskilling yourself is your responsibility. If you don't understand something, go and do a short course. Doesn't have to take you all day. Now you've got the time to get your head around things. Go and upskill yourself. Because if there's one thing I've learned about this in my own business, it's that I can only ever function out of where I'm at as a person. I don't know what I don't know, right? We don't know what we don't know. So go and upskill yourself and get some new skills and get some new understanding, stuff that you can actually then go and apply to your business and increase that bottom line. Have those collaboration conversations, review your business. We've already talked about that a little bit. Work on a new or an overdue project to keep positioning yourself forward. I have another book that we're about to embark on. It's a tourism book. And I just thought, you know what, while I don't think, we're not going to be quiet, we're flat out. But in this season, other people are going to be quiet. So why don't I start curating that book now so that people actually have something that they can sink their teeth into while they're stuck at home. So I'm actually going to start my next book in this season. I'm not going to put a deadline on it. It'll probably be done quicker than all the others because there's no deadline. That's what deadlines do to me. But at the end of the day, start it. If you start something that lights you up. For me, a new project lights me up. I love working on something else other than people's websites and people's strategy and people's social media. I personally need something else to keep me focused, to keep me excited about things. And my brain works better when I've got another Google Doc open and I'm dropping ideas in when I'm working on a book. So know how you work and start another project or finish one that you never had the time to finish. Now you've got the time. It's a great opportunity to fine-tune your offering as well. Plan for 2021 and the next decade. Support each other, guys. Doesn't cost anything to like a post, share a post, repost, tag a friend, to refrain from negativity. You don't have to comment on everything. I've just learned over the years that if something doesn't quite sit well with me, I just keep flicking through. I don't even bother to comment anymore. You can do shout outs for people if if you're having an online meeting with collaboration partners, tell your followers what's going on, shout out and edify and build up other business owners. And there's lots that we can do to support each other. Let's talk really quickly about communication, tone and content. And just a reminder that this also requires us to be responsive, not reactive, right? Being responsive or reactive are two differently toned responses to a situation. And I'm just learning that sometimes my best response, especially if it's got nothing to do with me on social media, it's just someone having a rant or whatever, sometimes the best response is no response and you can just keep flicking through. But if you're on your business page and you want to know what you should be communicating, how you should be communicating it, here's some, some guidance and some direction on how we are, encouraging our own clients to communicate and remain engaged on social media. A reminder that everything that you say and do right now will have an impact on the credibility of your business. Yes, we're all a little bit annoyed with China, but don't forget that 12 months ago, we spent so much money getting their attention, right? We wanted them here for tourism reasons. We went and put their language on most of our signs. We went and changed the messages in our public transport so that we had English and Chinese. And so you know, don't hate on China right now. We all feel the same. We all feel a little bit the same, but what you say can still be held against you. So remain clear about what you're doing in this season. Are you shutting down? Are you continuing? Are you changing how you offer things? Just get clear about that, and also get clear about what protocols you're following as a business. Have you shut down? Are you only delivery now? You know, all of those kinds of things. And just do one post. Just do one COVID-19 post and pin that to the top of your Facebook page, so that when people want to know what you're doing and what your response is, they've only got to go to that one post. Everything else on your page does not have to actually, you know, reference COVID-19, or, you know, you don't have to talk about it. You just keep going. You can just refer people to that post when, I guess, you know, they're wondering, well, what are these guys doing or whatever. Be clear on what you're offering. Are you closed, or are you offering delivery? If you're offering delivery, how, when, and how do they go about it? Remember, in your mind, what are the questions I'm going to get? That kind of information is what needs to go into your post, or maybe put it on a page on your website and send people through to there. And just keep updating that one pinned Facebook post and that one page on your website, yeah? If you've closed your business down, please do not stop posting. Do not stop marketing. At the end of the day, it's so much harder to pick it up from nothing and try and ramp it up again. Just keep posting, keep engaging, keep building vision, keep interacting, storytelling. You know, now's a great time to introduce your family, the family behind the legacy, the family behind the business. Now's a great time to talk about other things, to share some user-generated content of people that have either been with you before. And you can use, I guess, communication along the lines of, you know, flashback to the day we had such and such in for a coffee, you know, and there might be a photo of a lovely old guy and a dog or something. You know, find other ways to build vision with people in the season, but do not stop posting. You may even want to pull it back. You might just post 3 times a week, and that's fine, but just don't stop completely. Remain varied and be consistent with other posts. As always, you know, you can just continue to add value, you know, tips, hints, tricks, jokes, shareables, whatever it is that kind of aligns it with what it is that you do. Don't make a big deal about the situation. Like, there's enough fear and panic out there. Let's just remain real and grounded as business owners, and you can be real with people. Like, I think one of the key things that you can do right now is actually just be real and go, this is a really hard season for us. You know, people will connect with people, so you have that opportunity to show that there is a major scenario that's impacting upon you, but don't rant and rave and kind of bang on about it. At the end of the day, you know, if we want consumers to respect us, we need to remain respectful in what we say as well. Don't discuss politics. Don't discuss your opinions or your hate. You know, be the solution. If someone needs information, find it for them. You know, if you want to just encourage other business owners, do a shout out. Hey guys, want to just tell you about a couple of other businesses in my region. Make sure you go like their pages and support local at this time. Keep your posts positive, keep them future focused, keep them relational, and keep them real. You know, you can be relational and professional at the same time. You don't have to put everything on the table, especially on your business, Facebook, Instagram, social media platforms. Keep it positive, keep it future focused, keep it relational and real and professional, but do not stop marketing, right? Don't feed into the panic, anger, and fear. Give us something to laugh about or tap into our curiosity. And I couldn't help but share these two. The first one was ABC Melbourne. Because people can't go to the zoo anymore, they've actually put cameras so they can do live feeds from the zoo, which I think is pretty cool. That's amazing. And it flipped up in my newsfeed a couple of days ago of this guy that was actually dancing clearly behind the gate, so no one outside could see him, but he knew that the Facebook Live camera was there. So he gave us all something to smile about. And I smiled. I thought, that is actually really, really cool. So they could have turned around and gone, wow, we haven't seen you guys for ages because the government told us we're not allowed to have people here and we're hating this. We can't wait for this to be over, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, they're just giving people something to laugh about, tapping into curiosity, keeping it real but lighthearted, yeah? Another one is Flinders Ranges and Outback Tourism. There's a post there of a view from someone who's climbed up to the top of one of the mountain ranges, and it looks amazing. So what we've done on this one is we have effectively done some user-generated content. Yoga Therapia on Instagram had shared the photo. They've climbed and they've found that view. And so we are sharing views. We are showing people what is available to them when they're allowed out again, effectively, without saying it, right? Wink, wink. And we're still building vision about the region. We still want people to add certain regions and certain experiences to their must-do lists. We still want them to have us on their bucket list, right? So keep building vision, keep storytelling, keep it lighthearted, keep it real, and keep it people-focused. Remember in this season that people matter. What actually matters right now, and what I'm actually loving about this season, because is this very fact, because I am someone who is passionate about people. I actually think people matter. So people are the foundation of everything. If there are no people, there are no consumers. You don't have any customers or clients. You don't have a business, right? So it's a really, really good reminder that people actually matter. People are at the core of everything we do. Without people, there are no sales. Without people, you don't have a job. I mean, look at what we're looking at right now. A lot of businesses have to shut down. Why? Because there are no people. We've been told to stay at home. So how can you make people matter in your business at this time? I just shared a screenshot of a post on the right there from Adelaide Install Glenelg, and you know, it's just I'm here if you need me, or hey guys, thinking of you. You know, you can be a bit real. This is tough. You know, really missing being able to see my regular customers, but you know, just thinking of you all. Stay safe. Just keep it real, keep it relational. Just show the person behind the business. Change your business model to reflect how people want to interact with you. And in all of my marketing presentations of late, and non-marketing presentations as well, I'm reminding people that people actually matter. Everything you do comes back to people. And from here onwards, you will notice that people who will become our consumers, our clients, our customers, our visitors, etc., they are more and more beginning to dictate how they interact with us as a brand, how they interact with you as a brand. No longer can we turn around and say, this is how you can have me. You can have my service in this way or this way or this way. And if you do that, you're limiting your potential and your capacity to grow your business, because the consumer chooses. Why can they do that? Because there is so much available to them. They will simply go and find another brand similar to yours that gives them what they need in the way that they want it. One of the biggest examples of this is, I guess, the downfall of Avon. Now, I was an Avon district manager years ago. It was one of my initial major jobs. I did that remotely. I managed my team over the phone. And, you know, about, I think it was last year or the year before, we actually heard that they were shutting down. And it got me thinking, why are Avon shutting down? They have thousands, if not millions, of customers across Australia. They've been here for 30 or 40 years. I can't remember the exact figure. But it's like people don't want to wait 3 weeks anymore for their product to be delivered. They want to be able to go to the shop now. They want to be able to get online to your store, purchase what it is that they need, go straight through to easy checkout, purchase and have it delivered to their door within a couple of days. We need to change our business model to reflect how people want to interact with us. People do not want to wait 3 weeks for a delivery anymore. We're better off getting in our cars and going down and picking up what we need, right? So how can you change your business model? Well, do you need to change your business model to reflect the fact that people are at the core of what you do? Genuinely care, be real, but be professional. We are all hurting, whether majorly affected or not. Everybody is affected by this. Everything comes back to people. Thank your customers at this time. Send them a freebie. You know, like there's just so many things that you can do to give back to people as well. So just as I finish, I just wanted to give some industry specific ideas, and tourism is one of the big industries that's going to be hit the hardest in this. But once again, I see so much opportunity. I love tourism. Tourism is one of my favorite industries because it's fun, it's fresh, it's travel. It never gets boring, right? Tourism never gets boring. So here's some ideas if you're running a tourism business, and feel free to share this with anyone that you know that is in tourism. People will need mini breaks, right? People will need mini breaks. People will need to know that as soon as they're allowed out again, they will need to know that they have their holiday booked. They will need to know where they're going. So encourage them to write you into their bucket list. Say, like, just actually say it. Have you got a bucket list? Why not add us to your bucket list? Keep building vision and storytelling. You know, it's one thing to actually say, we've got this on offer, make sure you come and visit us, and have you booked yet? It's one thing to do that, to advertise and really push it. It's another thing to storytell and build vision and really engage people in the journey and the process and everything that your experience offers them. Keep vision building, keep storytelling, keep engaging them. They'll make their own decision. They will come to you if you do a good enough job, right? If what you're offering is top class and you're interacting with them where they need you the most, keep building that vision and storytelling in this season. School holidays, you know, there's no reason why you can't give people something for their kids to do. Like maybe there's an app online, or maybe you can, you know, create some colouring in pages or some puzzle pages, and you'll put your logo at the bottom, and you'll probably put some other information about your business at the bottom. But give them something to do for the school holidays. It's just a great way to keep people engaged without having to say, come and stay with us on the school holidays. Give something for the kids to do. You know, maybe you've got a series of videos on YouTube and you give the kids a little bit of a treasure hunt or an animal hunt or something that they can actually do. So you're getting views on your videos, you're getting great traction, you're giving the kids something to do while they're stuck at home, and you're kind of engaging them with your brand and their parents with your brand at the same time. Get back to basics. Just go out in your backyard and actually show your backyard. Like, go and take photos of what's happening now. Oh, we've had some recent rain, the flowers are up, the wildflowers are here. Or yesterday I had a koala come and say hi, and here's the photo. How amazing is she, he, whatever. Go live and show people what you offer. So take what you would normally tell them, we have this, this, and this, and you can experience A, B, C, D, and E, and it's beautiful out here, and there's no Wi-Fi, but Wi-Fi, you know, no Wi-Fi is the new luxury, by the way. Go live and actually just show them, right? Keep talking to people, build that vision, and showcase the beauty of where it is that you are and what you offer, and potentially other businesses or experiences that they can do. Have them plan and map out their next holiday now, even if they can't book it yet, right? Give them a holiday or a region mapping tool, holiday planning tool, or maybe it's just a downloadable where here's 5 things to do here, here's 5 things to do there, circle what you want and email it to us, and we'll pull together your itinerary. And once everything opens again, we can then go through and start helping you book stuff. Smart ways to do things. Some other industry-specific ideas, and you're probably seeing a lot of this on your social feed as it is anyway. But for hospitality, the Restaurant Runner app, we're looking for more people to, more brands to add to their offering. Adelaide Wine Delivery is another one that I saw recently, where you can actually have your winery. Wineries are closed now, but you can still have your wines delivered by a third-party brand that's focusing on delivering wines, right? People are struggling to get supplies, whether it's wine, food, whatever. If you can deliver your hospitality brand and what it is that you give out, even if you need to change up what you offer, maybe instead of single meals at $25 or $30 a head, you create an actual meal for 4 people for the family. Maybe you need to just, you know, reduce the meal sizes or throw in some extra veggies to make it financially achievable for people. We don't really want to be paying $20 to $30 per meal unless you don't have kids and you got, you know, you probably don't need to worry about that. But you just got to think that it needs to be financially achievable for people. But you can build vision in their mind. Why not still have Friday night takeout night? We'll come to you. Lots of things you can do. Offer weekly deliveries. So I don't know about you, but life gets a bit hectic for me. And so on the odd occasion, I've ordered a U-Foods delivery for a week, just to like break up the monotony of the normal stuff that I would cook for my kids. And especially when I'm busy, if I know I've got a massive week coming up, sometimes I will just break up the home cooking with some other cooked meals. So maybe You can offer a deal where you offer 3 meals a week for such and such delivered to your door for the next 8 weeks. Sign up here and your credit card just gets billed every week or something like that. So you get 8 weeks of business from one family, three meals a week at a certain amount, and you don't have to keep looking for new clients. So what can you actually offer that can also be ongoing? Retail online is obviously massive right now. Package up solutions as well. Don't forget we still need stuff for birthdays. So remind people, like there's so much going on. I think people are going to forget about the simple things like birthdays. Do you need birthday presents for people? Is now a good time to start writing out your birthday cards for the next 5 years? Like there are people that do that. I know I have a family member that actually writes all of the birthday cards out on the 1st of January every year, and they just get sent. They just send them all. And I keep them on the fridge for the kids. And I'm just like, actually, I don't send cards anymore for the one reason that I don't have cards. And I forget because there's like lots of birthdays and I don't have the time. So, you know, can you maybe send out some cards once a month or something like that so that people can actually start building up their supplies? Lots of things you can do. For services, obviously delivery is massive. Book a time. No physical contact needed is a really good way to go about it. At the moment, people are worried. The media have told us we should be worried, and we probably should be. But yeah, different ways to actually do your deliveries and to sort of word that as well. And people need to be able to book online as well. Online is huge. Now's your time to get that up to scratch if you haven't already. So just as I finish, I wanted to just tell you about a Facebook group that one of my friends, Miriam from Fab Tax Accountants in Adelaide, has pulled together. She's an amazing accountant. She is my accountant, and I send most of my clients to her and her team now. But she has pulled together a Facebook group called COVID-19 Coronavirus Business Update Strategies and Support Australia. And so when the government are rolling out funding and new initiatives of support, etc., or people have questions about super or how certain things will affect PAYG tax or GST or any of that stuff, payroll, you can actually go and post those questions in this group, and Miriam and her team will actually respond and help you where possible. You can also just book a session with her. She is brilliant. And yeah, it's actually just been a really good group to follow to just see how people are, I guess what people's needs are in business, and a lot of it is financial assistance. But there's a lot of other information being posted in there as well, and we will no doubt probably contribute to that. But that is one Facebook group that's worth checking out. I did not want to be sending you heaps of Facebook groups because there is a lot of information out there at the moment, and we don't want to overrun you. Like, I'm just getting crazy amounts of emails and crazy amounts of Zoom meeting requests and crazy amounts of texts and phone calls, and you know, you've just got to know where to go to get the right information without having to scroll through lots and lots of random posts. Yeah. So this is one of the groups that I have come across that I found very helpful, and I'll just flick through and have a look when I'm on Facebook and I've got a chance to just catch up on what's going on in that space. So I just want to remind you that coronavirus is actually just teaching us right now that nothing is impossible, right? Had you ever thought that what we are facing right now would have ever been, you know, our reality? And the question is no. Coronavirus is teaching us that nothing is impossible. And I want you to use that as a positive to drive you forward. I don't want that to be a negative thing. Anything is possible in your business. You need to just position yourself to be focused on the right things, to use this season to navigate it well, to know how to keep your mind active, to know where to get the right information, to know when to actually just sign off Facebook and go, oh, that's enough for the day, you know, and just continue to keep walking. And rest at the same time. I mean, there's things that we can do. You know, have your weekends off. Take some time out right now, because I can guarantee when business ramps back up again, we are all going to be flat out and complaining that we're so tired. So take the time, make this season work for you. As hard as it is, there's always silver linings. There's always gold threads, and we can definitely make this season work for us. So guys, that's all I wanted to share with you today. If you have any questions at any point, feel free to email me at marketmemarketing@gmail.com. I will send a copy of these slides out if you're watching the rerun of this. the recording, then you can have a copy of the slides as well. But look, we need to be looking after each other in this season. And if you feel that you're stuck as a business owner and you're really upset or you're really just distraught and you just need to speak with someone, please get in touch with me. My number is on my website, and I'm more than happy to just have a 20-minute conversation with you to just guide you forward, I guess, and just encourage you and champion you in this season. Really, really important that we navigate this well, and that we specifically do navigate it, right? Let's not just waste this time. Let's just get intentional about our response and come out the other side stronger than ever.